here with women's basketball head coach Karen Blair. She'll start with an opening comment, and then we'll open the floor for questions. When you grab the mic, please introduce yourself and your affiliation so she can continue to associate names and faces. So, Coach?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for being here and happy to be here. I think as you guys know, this weekend was an exciting weekend. It reminds you of what, being on a college campus is about. So congrats to, Coach Key and his staff and that team. That's probably one of the most thrilling environments that I've ever been a part of, and what a great win for their program. And again, since I've been here, it's also been great to be here with Ryan Alpert, our new AD and leadership. It's been fantastic getting to know him and his vision for Georgia Tech. And then again with Coach Cabrera, or President Cabrera. I'm like, you talk about having just like an all-star team of people to work with, and that it's a great time to be at Georgia Tech. So I'm thankful to be here, to lead our women's basketball program, and excited for the things that we have lying ahead. Just a little bit about our team. Obviously we've got 10 new players. We have 3 players that were returning. Both Ari and Inez come back with a lot of starting experience. Their leadership, along with Deasia had an injury and had some limited minutes last year, but those 3 have been able to give great leadership to our 10 newcomers that we've been able to have on campus. Really proud of our staff. If you look at the staff I was able to put together, we have a lot of experience that has come in with our staff, from coaches that have won championships, national championships. And the thing I can tell you about them is they're here for the right reasons, and it's about developing our student athletes and mentoring our student athletes. So really happy with the staff that I was able to assemble. And as you guys know, coming in late April, we were well into the transfer portal, but I really like the team that we were able to put together with the 10 newcomers. I think it's built a little different. We've got some great shooting that we'll be able to stretch the floor with our forwards that we have. And then we have some really good, strong guards that come in. So I think we'll be able to, attack the rim. We're going to be able to play at a really fast pace. That's what our intention is coming in, and to be able to play that up-tempo style and try and put a lot of points on the board. And that's what we want to do here at Georgia Tech.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Rod?
When you went about building the roster and going into the transfer portal, it looked like you made a conscious effort to bring in some people that would return to Atlanta, to their home.
Yeah.
Does that help you build the chemistry a little faster, since they all have something in common?
Yeah, absolutely. That was something very intentional. You guys know Atlanta is a sports town and a sports city, and they love basketball here. So for me, it was one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to bring kids back to Atlanta, and people that were from Georgia. So we actually have 6 players. And one of the things that's great, like you look at Brianna Turnage and Savannah Samuels, they played AAU together since like 8th grade. So what a great story is now they're seniors being able to come home and play in front of their families. And it's the same thing for our other senior, Catherine Albin. Like, she's actually coming back, and her family's going to be here. So yeah, that was something we were really intentional about when we were putting that together, is, to bring these hometown kids home. And now our intention is we want to keep them home. That's part of our recruiting, strategy right now is, our staff has gotten out and we're getting out into the community, and it's really important that we want to keep these local kids home and make Georgia Tech, help us build it the right way.
Just remember to introduce yourself and your affiliation.
I'm sorry. Rod McKenzie.
Gotcha. Thank you, Rod.
Yeah, Chad from the AJC. Along those same lines, what's the process of instilling the culture and setting the standard, sort of building that from the ground up?
Yeah, in year one, that's the most important thing that we're trying to do right now. And building a culture, and what culture is habits, right? It is how we do things every day, how we go about our processes, and that's what we've really tried to do, is we've set this really high standard for ourselves. And it starts with work ethic. Like, I can't tell you guys enough. I can't wait for you guys to get a chance to see Lanaya Foster, again, another regional kid that we were able to bring back home. And Lanaya has dedicated herself all summer long. It started with her running 3 miles a day, to be the best version of herself, and she's just lived in the gym. So that's a perfect example of somebody that has just raised the standard and the expectation of, we get in the gym. And we have a lot of kids like that. I will tell you, our staff is, we feel really fortunate right now that is the culture that we have. The players that we brought in, they want to be developed, they want to get in the gym, they're watching film with us. So that's all we can ask for a coaching staff, is you get those players that are humble and hungry, and have that pride in Georgia Tech, and it's a pleasure to work with them every single day.
Kelly Quinlan, Jackets Online. I was curious about your scheduling philosophy and kind of how, I'm not sure how much you were able to input on that, but just kind of what your philosophy is there and how you put together the schedule.
Yeah, with me coming in late, the schedule was pretty much done, kind of getting in here. But, our goal is to play in March. So we're always going to be able to play a competitive schedule. So, that's very much like you guys see, we have that stretch where we're going to play 3 SEC teams in 4 games. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to play those competitive schedules. As you guys know, the ACC is a really tough conference. And the one thing is ACC women's basketball, as you guys know, is we perform in March. So we've got to be prepared, when we start those games in December and January. And the only way to be prepared is we're going to have to play tough non-conference schedules to challenge ourselves, to learn about ourselves and be able to get better. I'm very much a process-driven coach. I'm like, you got to learn about yourself when you get these tough matchups, and that's what it's about.
Jackson Caudill, Georgia Tech on SI. You mentioned all the newcomers that have come in. Has it taken a little bit for them to mesh together to the style of basketball that you want to play, or has it all kind of come together quickly for you?
I think one of the things we were really good about was being really intentional with building our chemistry off the court. And, and that's what the summer's for. The summer was building that chemistry on the court. But we came in from day one. They knew very much that the pace, a lot of coaches say they want to play fast, but players have to commit themselves to playing fast, right? There's a fitness level that is part of that. There's an intensity and a way that we do things in order to be successful, to be able to play that fast pace. But this group has embraced it. Like from day one when we came in here in the summer, they've embraced it. They're learning, what it really takes to be able to play 40 minutes at the pace that we want to play at. And we're not there yet, and it's September. I don't think anybody expects that, but I like where we're at currently, and we're just going to continue to, to build it up so we can put that full 40 minutes together.
Deaja's going into her 3rd year. She's sort of, struggled with injuries. She has a physical presence that the team seemed to have lacked in the past. Is she ready to make that next jump, and be a contributor?
Yeah, Deaja right now is working really, really hard. We've been, this summer, she's coming back from that injury, and right now she's healthy, and she's, we're working on getting her in shape. But Deaja's she's a great talent. You know what I mean? Like right now, I think from shooting from the 3, she's been knocking down the 3 for us in the floor. But I also love her confidence of being able to score in the low block. So she brings a lot of versatility. And so for me, my job is to make sure to build up her confidence. Coming back from an injury, sometimes I think as players that can kind of play with your confidence. And my job as a coach is to make sure that she comes back and be the most confident player that she can be. And that's what we're working on right now. But yeah, she's a special player.
What's it been like for Karen Blair, first-time head coach, and trying to figure it all out on the fly here?
Well, as you guys can say, they say it's like drinking from a fire hose. We have to come in and hire an entire staff and then put together a roster. But, really pleased. You know what I mean? It's like some things you just have to go through for the first time. But like I said, I feel like I was able to put together a staff, and that's most important as a head coach is you've got to put people behind you that you know that you can rely on and you can count on, and we have done that. And I think we were really intentional. I wanted personalities of players that love the game. Like one of my core values is, is like you have to play this game with joy and passion. It has to be everything that we do. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have hard days. We'll have hard days, but basketball's fun. Like this game has taken me around the world, and I've been able to just meet so many people and do everything. And so my job is to share with them, to enjoy that. And if we do that, and get them to believe in themselves and they play confident, then we're going to be able to handle any adversity that's thrown our way.
Couple more. Rod?
Of course, you have to make stops on the defensive end too.
Yes.
And I guess Inez is a good place to start. She's always been a good defensive player. How is her health now? Is she ready to get out there and contribute?
Yeah, Inez is great. That's what I said. Like even from a leadership standpoint, Inez has been everything that I could ask for is coming in from a transition. Like her leadership has been unbelievable from day one, and so defensively, this is a thing I will say about this group. We do have speed and we have length. So this is probably the one end of the floor that they've naturally been able to be really, really aggressive, and that's my job as a coach, is to kind of like see what they're doing, what they like to do, and this group likes defense, which I love, and that's why that speed and that length, that we put together in the roster was really important. So I think we'll be able to be really disruptive. I think we'll be able to pick up in the full court. As you guys know, we got to be able to change tempo and do things with our defense, and with this group, we'll be able to do that.
Final question, Kelly?
This is a little random, but you played at SMU. They're in the league now. You get to coach out there. I don't know if you've had that opportunity before, but what is it like seeing them in the ACC and getting that opportunity to go back there and coach a game as a head coach?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a full circle moment, that is for sure. And this is ironic enough. I was an interim head coach when I was at UTA, and my very first game there was against my assistant coach that was at SMU, John Newley, was at Idaho State. I did get the win, just for the record, okay? It's what you got to do, right? Your mentors, you kind of get that. So for me, this will actually be a full circle moment to be able to go back to SMU. And obviously, I'm still really close with my former coach, Rhonda Rampolla, an SMU legend. And let's just say a lot of our alumni have got that game circled. So I think it'll be a really fun reunion, for a lot of us to go back to. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity to go back.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.